4, 3, 2, 1. CTS, PC, EP
35.
35. Do you like this podcast or the politics one more? Be honest. Be honest.
It depends. I think the politics one, I feel like we have more like intellectually stimulating discussions.
Yeah.
But this one can be fun to just like check out and nerd out about Star Wars
Yeah, I would agree.
and stuff. Yeah.
So,
Fun though.
this week, we got new episode of Boba.
That's the big one.
Yeah, dude, pretty cool.
I'm a big fan. I've
Better than Mando?
I don't think so yet.
Yet. Ooh.
It just depends, right? Like, it's hard for me to say, like, yes or no, especially with 3 episodes left. Like, I don't think if the rest of the episodes, even if, what would you say the best episode of it has been so far? 2?
Undoubtedly.
Oh, and you loved 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so this isn't going to be a good comparison for you. But I don't even think, I agree, I think 2 was the best episode so far. But I don't even think if the last 3 episodes of it are all as good as episode 2, it's better than Mando.
Oh, I think if the last 3 were as good as episode 2, I think it'd be the best Star Wars I've ever seen. The best Star Wars project I've ever watched. Because episode 2 was, I mean, maybe besides, individual movies like Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith. But I said that episode 2 was my favorite Star Wars since Clone Wars Season 8. That was my favorite, hour of Star Wars or whatever.
Yeah. And I don't think, I wasn't quite as hot on it as you were. Like, I really enjoyed it. But, yeah, no, it was definitely.
But the problem is episode 1 was great. Episode 2 was fantastic. Episode 3 was really weird to me. I didn't enjoy it. Episode 4 was great. So if the last 3 are like fantastic, I'd for sure say it's better than Mandalorian. But
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. There's a lot of places they could go that I think I may think unfavorably about it, but I feel like there's so many more places they could go that'll make it really, really cool. But talking about episode 4, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was probably my second favorite episode if the first scene wasn't in it. I thought the first scene was bizarre. I thought it was out of place. I thought it was similar to the pod racing type deal we saw in the 3rd episode with the different colored pod machines or whatever, mopeds. It was just a weird scene. It's just weird. I feel like there's like a lack of continuity with those types of scenes. I don't know. The rest of the episode felt totally different and totally fine, but you have this one weird, it feels really out of place. They walk into this, I mean, I know you haven't played it, but it literally looks like Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Like the modders.
Yeah, the modders with like crazy hair and crazy features. I mean, it's literally the same exact premise. In Cyberpunk, you go to modders and they just replace organs and different things with parts.
Yeah, which
and even the music and the kind of cheesy, cringy acting. It was just weird.
It was funny. You had a problem with the line where he's like Boba tosses the money on, and he was like, oh, you should have like said that first or whatever, like the money thing.
I don't have a problem with the concept. I have a problem with him saying that, and then all of a sudden you hear dum 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 dum
yeah,
dum
the
dum
EDM. Well, that's that dude that did the surgery. That's his music.
Really?
Yeah, he's Thundercat.
Oh,
that's who it is.
No
he's
idea.
some like EDM guy, but yeah, like that's his music. Yeah, it is funny because it's like I think in a different context, like it could be like fine.
Well, yeah, you talked about how if it was on, the streets of Coruscant,
or like the underworld in Coruscant, like down on that bottom level, like we've seen stuff like that.
It would make more sense than it does in Tatooine, for sure.
But it is also weird to think that a planet like Tatooine would be untouched by stuff like that. Like that was always something I felt weird about with Star Wars, and it just was a function of the original trilogy was made 20 years before the like prequels, but the prequels always felt so much more like advanced technologically and all that stuff. Like the world was more advanced like technologically. Then it's like in 20 years it regressed between the
You gotta figure though, the only worlds we really see in the original trilogy is Tatooine, Hoth,
Endor.
We see the Cloud City.
Yeah, that's true. But even that's not as crazy as like Coruscant and
And 50s diners and flying speeders
everywhere.
everywhere.
It seems weird that
and
you
giant
go,
the
like
chancellor
with Palpatine's
talking.
face, like every planet, and even like in Clone Wars, like every other planet they go to has like a big major like pretty modern city.
Yeah.
And so it's like, so that's always been a weird thing. Like it's almost like anachronistic in that like Star Wars is set in a weird time where it's like futuristic but also not futuristic, where they still like they still use swords to fight like the Jedi. And so yeah, but I agree. I don't love those like the cyberpunk people.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just and the thing is, if the rest of Boba Fett had a theme that better incorporated it, I would probably not be as, outraged by it. But I feel like it doesn't really have that theme or that vibe. It's just kind of mixed in there. It's like if you're baking cookies and you put like Jolly Ranchers in your chocolate chip cookies. It's like, that doesn't taste very good.
Like
it's
Jolly Ranchers would be fine on their own,
yeah,
or like used in a better way, but
yeah,
not in my chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it is kind of weird that they're like they're set up like there should be a big part of it, but then they're not that big of a part of it.
Yeah, but that's my only beef with it. I mean, that's literally like been my only beef with it so far. So I don't know. I'm really excited. For the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Obviously the
this
biggest
is
talking
a spoiler.
point. Yeah.
I will spoil it. If you care, or all 10 of you that are listening, if you care, turn away now. Biggest moment of the episode, right at the end.
Mando's
we hear
theme.
a little flute.
How does it go again? I can't think of how it starts.
We can't play it.
It's
something like that. Yeah. Hopefully that's far enough away that they'll copyright strike you for stuff like that.
Can you imagine? So even if I were to just like sing a famous song, they would copyright it.
They'll copyright strike you if it's close enough. You have to sing it bad. Yeah, it's bad.
That's crazy. That makes me want to sing something right now.
I'll cut it out so that we don't get a copyright strike. Because copyright strikes are bad news. You get 3 of those, channel gone forever. But yeah. Anyways, Mando's theme, which seems to imply that Din Djarin will be back in some capacity in hopefully the next episode, or at least.
So you know what I think?
What?
I was thinking about this.
Oh wait, hold on. Sorry. Before you get into that, I just want us to reflect on my predictions from last week.
Ew, this is such a gross aside. This is disgusting.
Just while we're on the subject, we also got like Black Chrysanthemum joining Boba's team, working for him. I think the only one that like hasn't come true yet, and that was in one episode. I was talking the rest of the series is the Rancor being, and we both kind of thought that, and I'm still not 100% convinced. Like, it seems weird that you'd bring in Danny Trejo to be in for like 20 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know, but on the same note, I could see Boba riding the Rancor into like,
that'd be
war.
pretty beast.
That'd be crazy.
Could you imagine? What if? Hold on. You had a thing. I'll go after you.
No, I was just
fine.
I'll
enter.
No, I have a prediction for how Mando is going to fit into this.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to show up at on Tatooine.
Yeah.
And he's going to strike a deal with Boba to aid him in his war with the Hutts or with the Pikes. And in return, Boba's going to aid them on Mandalore.
What do you think is on Mandalore right now? Like, this might be just me not being super knowledgeable of the timeline, but isn't Mandalore like
Crimson Dawn is on Mandalore.
Is Crimson Dawn right now?
I think. That's not confirmed.
Okay. That would make sense, though.
Yeah. So you got to figure
because there's got to be a reason that Beskar is so rare, right? Because Beskar is like crazy. The Mandalorians can't get Beskar.
Yeah. So I think Crimson Dawn is on Mandalore, running Mandalore.
Yeah, because they don't talk about, like, Bo-Katan doesn't talk about what's going on.
She talks about reclaiming the throne.
Reclaiming the throne.
From who? So that's the question, is there's this power, because if you remember, the last time we even see or hear about Mandalore is when Maul fights Ahsoka on Mandalore.
But we know there was a purge. The Empire, like, purged Mandalore. We do hear about that. So
that's true.
So
we do hear that Mandalore, after the purge, though, I think there was references to them, the Empire, never being able to take Mandalore. I think it was kind of just left after the purge. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, because they're like, Mandalore's like, because Din thought Mandalore was destroyed.
Yeah.
But, yeah, interesting. I want Boba to go to Mandalore.
That's what I'm saying.
Din.
I think.
No, you think get Din.
I don't think so.
I don't think they'll do it. I think he'll just call it.
It'd be cool. I don't think the first time we'll see Mandalore is in Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I think it'll for sure be in the Mandalorian.
Yeah, probably. But it'd be beast.
So that's my prediction. I'm pretty confident in it. I'm like 60-40. So I think if we see Din, it's going to be, a trade-off. Din will help him in exchange. We'll see Boba Fett fight on Mandalore. Or he'll use Boba Fett's crime organization to aid them in taking down Crimson Dawn.
Yeah, I bet Boba's in Mando 3. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that makes sense to me. So, yeah, I bet, because Boba has to be involved in, like, retaking Mandalore. It'll be interesting to see.
I don't know, because Boba Fett's not really, I don't know, he's a Mandalorian because his father was a Mandalorian, but it seems like Boba Fett isn't really interested in the Mandalorian culture.
Yeah, but
But neither is Din, right? Or at least not in Bo-Katan's version of Mandalore. You know?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. I think Mando 3 got delayed again, I heard.
So it's going to get delayed till 2024?
Like, not a full year. I don't think a full year.
But
maybe just a couple
2024.
Months. Yeah, no.
Because it was going to release the end of this year. So it'll be 2024. Oh, wait, no. It's 2022.
Yeah.
So 2023.
Yeah, like
wait, are you
Q1 2023. But
it doesn't matter. We're still getting a bunch of content.
Yeah, a ton of stuff. But yeah, so that's good. I'm super excited for this next episode. I think this next episode could be like huge.
I hope so.
You bring in Din. I bet they get some other bounty hunters. Like, I bet they bring in like Bosk or like Cad Bane.
They could bring in Cad Bane. That'd be cool.
Because
we saw him in Bad Batch.
Yeah. Is he dead? That's the only question.
By now, maybe because he's old in Bad. No, because Fennec isn't old in Bad Batch.
She's not that old in Bad Batch, but
How long did the Empire reign after the fall of the Republic?
It's like 20 years or something. Is like the difference between
So Fennec is 20 years older than she was in Bad Batch?
Because we know Luke's age, right? Because how old is Luke?
He's 19 in New Hope.
And so he's what, 24 by the end of it?
Yeah.
Is it over 5 years? Right? Because the Battle of Yavin, this is happening in 5. So that part, when he rescues Fennec, that's 9 BBY. And so I don't know. But the not even time wise, you've seen that scene from Clone Wars, like that didn't like ever make it into an episode, where Boba and Cad Bane fight and Boba kills Cad Bane.
I don't think I've seen that deleted scene.
Yeah, so it's not even really animated. It's just like storyboards, and like so they fight, and Cad Bane shoots him and hits Boba in the head, but it bounces off his Beskar. And we never see that. That never makes it officially into Clone Wars. But Boba has the dent in his helmet that like wasn't there before, and then was there in the original trilogy, and so it's still there. So it's like, so did that happen, and is Cad Bane dead? But yeah. So I don't know. It'd be interesting, but I hope they at least bring Bosk. I bet they bring Bosk, because then that'd be a cool kind of like they have to work out with like Black Chrysanthemum and Bosk, because he hates Trandoshans.
Gotcha.
So they've got it like there's that dynamic, and I think the implication is that Bosk like is the one that like schooled him, like or not schooled, like not trained him, but like embarrassed him, because Boba Fett makes some joke or like comment about like some Trandoshan like doing something to him. But yeah.
Well, if you remember, Bosk and Boba have a relationship from Clone Wars.
Yeah. No, they're like friends. That's why I think it could be like could happen.
Interesting. That's an interesting idea.
Okay. Well, other entertainment news. We can stick with Star Wars. We know, I think, when Obi-Wan's releasing.
May 4th?
May the 4th.
Be with
Star Wars Day. Because it's perfect, because it's a Wednesday, too. May 4th is a Wednesday, too. So, like, yeah, it'd be a perfect time to release it. But I think, what's Mary Elizabeth Winstead cast for an unknown role in...
Who's that?
You ever see that Scott Pilgrim movie?
Yeah.
She's the girl, like Ramona Flowers. She's cast in Ahsoka for an unknown role.
Bo-Katan, maybe.
It can't be Bo-Katan.
You
mean Sabine?
Sabine.
Maybe that's what people are speculating. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. I think that's about all the Star Wars news.
Trying to think.
Marvel news. We got Moon Knight trailer. I'm so stoked for that show. I think a lot of people are excited.
I think a lot of people are
and
really
I've been on the Moon Knight train since they announced it. Been so excited. I think it looks so cool.
Yeah. Should be good. What's his name again?
What do you mean?
The actor?
Oscar Isaac. Poe Dameron.
He's getting a bunch of work this year.
Well, he has 3, he has 2 Marvel roles this year, because he's Spider-Man 2099 in Across the Spider-Verse that's supposed to come out at the end of the year.
And he's doing Andor for Star Wars.
Is he?
Yeah, that's it's about him, isn't it?
No, Andor's about Cassian Andor, who's played by Diego Luna. And that takes place before A New Hope. Poe Dameron's the fighter from the sequels.
I'm confusing those two.
Yeah.
I'm confusing that guy with him.
Yeah,
okay.
But Oscar Isaac, because Oscar Isaac's like
he was
pilot from the sequels.
Right.
Yeah, which I liked him a lot. Like, he was one of my favorite characters from the sequels. But yeah, so that's exciting. Other superhero news: the Batman confirmed 3-hour runtime, second longest comic book movie ever.
What do you think about long movies?
I think it depends. Like, I don't think there's anything inherently good or bad about the length of a movie. It depends on like what you do with it.
So I would mostly agree with that. I think pretty much any movie I've seen that's over 2.5 hours, I start to be like, whoa, this is
like Endgame.
See, Endgame was just epic. It was so epic that it's like the culmination.
So I think it just depends.
Of a decade worth of work.
What about the like Lord of the Rings movies?
Those can get a little long. Or
They're
Dune.
lame, though.
Dune can get a little long.
The thing is I don't think, but I think so. That's just a difference in like. But if they did it well, right? Like Endgame, you said didn't feel long.
Yeah.
Right. So they did it well. You just have, I guess, a different bar. You have like a short attention span.
Yeah.
So
literally. No, but I'm really excited for
pumped
Batman.
for that. That's gonna be fun.
Early reviews have been good. So.
Yeah, really good. And I've also heard from early reviews that the trailers reveal nothing about the plot.
Really?
That we have no idea what the plot is.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And who knows if that changes as it gets closer and they start releasing more trailers. But as of now, like people that have seen early like test screenings and stuff are saying that the trailers reveal nothing about the plot.
That's cool. I started watching Peacemaker on HBO Max. Dude, it's really good.
Really?
It's really funny. And I think that's DC could this is an excellent example of how if DC had good directing and good writing, they could make a really cool universe like Marvel's done.
They just
the problem
need to
is
not.
they have most of the time they have terrible directing and terrible writing.
Yeah.
It's like when James Gunn did it and it's great. It's freaking hilarious. It has James Gunn written all over it. You can tell it's a James Gunn movie.
Yeah.
It's freaking funny, dude. It's really graphic though. It's nothing like Marvel.
Yeah.
Nothing like Marvel.
And I think that's what DC needs to do is not try to be Marvel.
Yeah, fill a niche with, I mean, for lack of a better word, R-rated movies that sell to, a more niche audience.
Well, and even like, but even something like, yeah, I just think they need to not try to be Marvel because Marvel has already done it better than anybody else could ever do it. So if you try and do like the exact same, I mean, you've even seen like with all their like Superman and like Batman movies, or like I guess not
since
Batman movies
since Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, it's all been pretty like weak, like not great. And
yeah, the only good movies they've come out with since Christopher Nolan's Batman is Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, the most recent one.
But not the original one. The original one was awful.
Not the original one. The most recent Suicide Squad, and then, in my opinion, Peacemaker, which is getting critically acclaimed reviews too.
I like Shazam. I enjoyed Shazam.
I haven't seen Shazam, so I don't really.
Oh, I thought that was fun.
Really
but it was also like felt very different than like Marvel movie, which I think is what they need to do.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything else you can think of that we haven't discussed yet or need to discuss? Upcoming, we got a release date for Avatar 2, December 16th, 2022.
It's coming out this year?
This year.
I think that movie is not going to do nearly as well as Disney thinks it's going to do at the box office. I don't think, even though the first one did like amazing, one of the highest grossing movies of all time, I don't think the second one's going to do nearly as well.
The problem is it's been in production since before Disney owned the rights to it.
Really? Who's directing it? Is it
It's James Cameron.
Again.
Yeah. And there's going to be 5 of them. The thing is though is I think
an Avatar universe, bruh. That's crazy.
What's cool is we haven't gotten like a ton of these is movies like that are not based on a previous like intellectual property. That are just their own thing,
just new
like
things.
Standalone. And all those movies that are like that are like a big franchise that's original. Like that's people like to bash on Avatar, but
I'm not bashing on it.
No, not you. I just mean in general. Like a lot of people like to. They're like, oh, like I don't even remember anything about the movie. It's like it also came out like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Like there's not a ton of movies that you remember like
right.
a lot about, and it is like the highest grossing movie of all time, so it had to have done something right.
Yeah.
But it is, to its credit, it's original. Like it's not based on a comic book. It's not based on a book.
Did Disney acquire the rights to Avatar with their acquisition of Fox, or who owned?
Yes, with their acquisition of Fox. Yeah,
Dang.
that's when it came. But they'd already made before they acquired Fox, they'd already done the like Avatar land in the theme park, like the Avatar theme park. So obviously they liked it, and I think it's probably worth producing like as many Avatar films as James Cameron wants to have James Cameron in the fold and happy. And
so Warner Brothers owns Dune, right?
yeah. Yes.
Warner Brothers also owns Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings.
I don't know if Warner Bros. Owns Lord of the Rings. I don't think they own Lord of the Rings.
Well, the only other really studio there is Fox that would have a franchise that big.
But I don't think they who produced Lord of the Rings. I'm trying to think now. Oh gosh. I don't know who produced Lord of the Rings.
We can look.
Yeah, just look it up. Because Amazon's making that new Lord of the Rings TV show. So I can't imagine if Warner Bros. Had the rights to
New Line Cinema.
Yeah. It's just it wasn't one of those major like studios. And Tolkien's kids and stuff have been like, not stingy's not the right word, but I'm going to use it, but like without a negative connotation. Like they've been
conservative,
very clear with what what can and can't be used for adaptations. And so like even like the new series that's going to be on Amazon, so that's another thing we could talk about for a second. They released they revealed like a name for it, but there's like a very specific like kind of that world, like the like Lord of the Rings world has been split up into like 4 ages. Like it's kind of the story is split up into these 4 ages, and there's only one age, the second age, that the rights are available to make media in. He said, like Tolkien's estate has said, you can't make an adaptation that's set in the 3rd age, 4th age, or 1st age.
Do you think they'll ever do movies on those?
Maybe eventually, when the paycheck's too big and like it's diluted enough that it's not, because it's still Tolkien's kid, I think, is one of his kids is still like in charge of it. But eventually, I'm sure eventually when it's like great grandkids and like Apple Plus comes and is like, we'll give you $100 billion to let us make a like 1st age movie or whatever, they'll be like, okay, fine. All right. But yeah, that have you seen that teaser for the like where they announced the name of the show? It's really cool, and it's all practical. Like there's no CGI, or well, there's some CGI, but like it's primarily practical, and it's really cool looking. You should check it out.
That's cool.
But yeah, I think that's it. Hopefully. Yeah. No. What's the next thing that we'll be able to talk about? It's probably
Obi-Wan.
Well, it's Batman. The Batman's in March, and Moon Knight's before Obi-Wan too. That's gonna be crazy because Moon Knight's the 30th, and Obi-Wan will be the 4th of May.
We'll have them both.
So we'll have Obi-Wan and Moon Knight coming out every week.
Dang, dude.
That's bizarre.
That's a crazy thought.
That's gonna be
Lots
sweet.
to talk about.
Exciting. Okay. Well, let's wrap it up there.
Well, no.
What? Oh, Mandalorian. How can I forget? Okay, 2 each.
Yes.
Okay.
That's not good.
Wow. Okay. This is tricky for your 1-point question. It's not that tricky. I'll give you a hint. It's not that tricky. Okay. A Lothcat startles which character at the Common House on Sorgan? A, the child, B, a Sorgan frog, or C, the Mandalorian?
Hold on.
It's the...
I got it.
Do you remember which episode this is from?
Reread the question.
A loth cat startles which
A
character?
Sorgan frog.
No, it's the child.
Okay. Good one, dude. What is that question?
Okay.
That's so trash.
That's brutal. That's tricky.
Trash.
Okay, what is in the middle of the Seeing Stone? Do you know A, a totem, B, a hemisphere, C, a pyramid? Do you know what the Seeing Stone is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Repeat the answers.
A totem, a hemisphere, or a
I
pyramid?
think it's a pyramid.
It's a hemisphere. Tricky.
Dude, these questions, though. Come on.
Tricky. I know. You have kind of gotten the short end of the stick. There you go. What is the Mandalorian's name?
This is unreal.
Okay, let's hit them. Let's see.
What colors are Boba Fett's armor? Red, green, and yellow, black and blue, or orange and gray?
Let's go with red, green, and yellow.
Unreal.
Okay, what's up?
Who is inmate 346667? Miggs Mayfield, the Mythrol, or Omera?
I'm going to guess it's Miggs Mayfield.
Unfreaking real, dude. We're doing one more each.
Okay.
That is unbelievable. That's unbelievable, Henry.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's really tricky. Okay. Where does the Mandalorian consider leaving the child? A, with Queel on planet Alderaan, B, with Omera on planet Sorgan, or C, with Kara on planet Navarro? This one's a tricky one. I'm trying to think. Refresh me, like, while you're thinking about this. Planet Sorgan, is that in the first season?
Sorgon's in the first season.
It's where the like crazy modified chicken walker thing attacks him, right?
So repeat the answers.
A, with Queel on planet Alderaan, B, with Omera on planet Sorgan, or C, with Kara on planet
I'm going
Navarro?
with B.
That's correct. Nice. Who on speeder bikes chases down Queel fleeing with the child? Whew. Brutal. A, stormtroopers, B, chase troopers, or C, scout troopers?
Scout troopers.
Yeah, it's scout
I knew that.
troopers.
Yeah.
There you go, 2 for 2.
Shut up.
We're still tied, but
Shut up. Okay.
okay, let's check them out. Read it off.
So dumb. Why does Mando reveal his face in public? To use it. I don't know. To use a face scanner so IG-11 can heal him or his helmet breaks.
That's a weird one.
That is a weird one.
It's a weird one.
That's a weird one.
It's got to be because he does in the first season take off his helmet so IG-11 can heal him.
Yes.
But when he's with Miggs Mayfield on that planet, that's when it like really reveals his face to other people. I'm going to go with A.
You're correct. Okay. What notable remnant... This is so... Shoot. What notable remnant was left behind when the Razor oh my gosh. When the Razor crest exploded? The shifter knob, a Mandalorian crest, or Mando's jetpack?
I'm going to go with the shifter knob.
Stupid idiot.
Awesome.
That's unreal.
Another round. I think that's 3 for 3. Not to gloat or anything, but
Which you wouldn't have gotten. That
I believe
first card,
that's-
you would not have gotten either of those questions.
I think I would have gotten the Loth Cat one.
The child.
Because
The only reason I think it's a frog, because I felt like that was a scene when, like, it was like at the very beginning of the episode. You know how they have quirky scenes at the beginning, and maybe a Loth Cat jumps out and the frog gets scared or something.
yeah, I agree. Okay, well, let's call it there with another victory for Henry.
CTS Podcast, episode 30.